Hello guys, uh, it's long time no see with each other, and I'm Itsu Ace. Y'all know about me, and here we are doing the Sashimi project. And recently, I have written an article form of Sashimi beginners tutorials, especially for the people who are wealthy and have a lot of money but have burden in going into this product because they don't know anything about the crypto world and the technologies and the how to use it. They are not quite used to it, so I think it's quite necessary. But in yesterday, people in community told me that only an article is not enough, and if there is a video form of this article, and it will be much more better for people to understand. So here is why I come to make this video for you guys, for newbies, and if you are wealthy, you cannot miss it. And before I delve into the sashimi product, and let's look at another interesting thing. It is called the gas, and today I found the gas is quite low. It's we can look at in the gas station, and in the gas station of ETH, or Ethereum blockchain, and in this part you can see the gas is quite low, and several hours ago it could be some 20 to 30 gray, but now it's really a little higher, but that doesn't matter because in very hot times the gas could be 100. It's very quite insane for that could push a lot of gas away from this DeFi product. So let's go back to the sashimi. So let's go into the sashimi's cool. It's sashimi's main page, and first I'll go over all the product in the sashimi swap, and in the picture we can see the master chef is ready. So I think it's quite a vivid saying here, and it told you to stake the tokens to eat your sashimi. So that means sashimi can be farmed. So I will tell you what is farm really is if you're a beginner. And we can see a lot of other informations, and you can see there are two big pronounced locked here because you haven't connected your wallet. Because only you connect your wallet, you can see the data here. And the first thing you should have a wallet, and the wallet is a MetaMask. So look at my MetaMask. A wallet is not a it looks like a physical wallet in your world if you are not in crypto, but in crypto world the wallet is kind of address. It's kind of a hash address that could be a private key, and if you hold this private key like a key in the physical world, you can use the key to open the lock. So here is I will always have this key, and the key itself is a wallet. So I have this key, and the key have an address. This address is 0x81CF CF6D, and it have 40 digits here, and it's too long, so there is a dot here. And you can see I have only 0.01 ETH. That's quite poor because it's not my main wallet. People can have a lot of wallets, means they have a lot of keys, or this is called the address. I have a lot of address, and can have infinite amount of token type. Here, but what is a token? I'll explain it later. So the first thing is unlock wallet. So for any the decentralized applications, they always have an unlock wallet because you have the application to who should it must connect your wallet to get your information, like how much tokens you have. So I unlock this wallet using MetaMask as a little fox here. And if you don't know how to add MetaMask in your Google Chrome extensions, you can Google for it and in the MetaMask official website. So we just skip over that and directly connect this MetaMask. So after MetaMask, the magical things happens, and there are a lot of more data here. We can see the circulating sashimi supply. There is 59 million of the sashimi amount that is the current supply, but the total supply is capped, is below 100 million sashimis. Yeah, you know, sashimi is the token of the sashimi product. So talking about the token is, the token on Ethereum is like something like a coin you have, but it lives on Ethereum. And it's kind of virtual, but have value. It can be changed into dollars. So that's why people treat it as a kind of asset. But that doesn't matter if it is asset, but it's valuable. And we can see the total sashimi burned. There is kind of burn. So what is burn? So I will talk about it later. And there is also other thing is treasury. So the treasury here. And what is treasury? I will talk about later. And we can see there are two little panels here. The first panel is your sashimi balance. So you haven't got any sashimi, it's definitely zero. And the circulating supply we have told you about, there is a new reward per block here, and it's 10 sashimi, and that's kind of a reward. And closely related to farming product. And if we see this menu, it will direct you to the farm product. So let's go to farm or click this button. It can direct you to the same page. So that's the farm type. So in the farm type, there is select your favorite dishes, and we can treat them all these things like as a dish, one dish. But in DeFi world, we call it the pool, because you defaulted some token. You deposit the token in a pool and to earn a token, because here we earn sashimi. In the farm, we always earn sashimi here. And your double farm, this is quite an interesting feature here, and because you in this double farm, they call the double happy minutes, and I will explain in detail what the double farming is later. And you can see the APY is always higher than those in farms. And we can go the exchange. The exchange interface is very concise and very tidy page here. And I like to look at the staking, and the staking is that's kind of a product that's the function that you stake your sashimi token if you have it into the system, and you'll get more interest, more profit from it. And the investment, well, I have to unlock the wallet, and not all the time you have to unlock the wallet, because if you are idle for a long time, the wallet will automatically lock to guarantee your security. And in the investment, we call it the snacks, but that doesn't matter, and earn actual sashimi token by investment. And I think that's a quite important thing, because sashimi swap, we always position it not only a swap, but we position it as a high profitability money making machine. And via this investment property, the investment function. And you see this vault, we can see some total staking value, and we can see 4 panels here. Each panel we have a relatively high APY called the annual percentage yield. And in each vault, we have to deposit some token and for some time. And if there have some time pass, you can withdraw your tokens right here, and you can get some profit. And there are 2 more links here in the navigation bar, and there have some arrows because it will direct you to a completely different website. But this website is always developed by Sashimi development team. And the first thing is the info. Info is kind of dashboard thing that can look at the overall data, the liquidity, and the trading volume in 24 hours, and the top tokens here. And in the token pairs, you can see other informations. So that's the info we'll talk about later, and we'll revisit it again. And the last thing is the proposal. The proposal means people can make proposal in this decentralized application community, and people can vote in the proposals. And there are a lot of proposals here, and now we have 124 proposals in total. So that's what we have gone over this whole product. So next, let's go into the main part of this product. And first, I want to begin with the exchange, because only in this exchange there could be some concept which could be a critical role in other products in this Sashimi system. So let's go into the exchange, and we can swap tokens, and we can pool tokens, like via adding liquidity. And let's swap tokens, and let's take Sashimi token for example, and we choose the Sashimi token. So somebody will face the scenario that you cannot find the Sashimi token in this list. That's because there is a token list here. If you click change, you can see a lot of lists in this managed list pop up. And the list, there are a lot of lists, but if you choose something like CMC stablecoin or CMC DeFi, you enter this, you cannot find the Sashimi token because it's quite common. It's some kind of very common and famous coin that doesn't contain the Sashimi token. So we can only find the Sashimi token in this menu, in this list, and in this list, because this list is developed by us, so there could be Sashimi token naturally. Yeah, we choose Sashimi token here, and here we choose ETH. ETH is the base token of Ethereum blockchain, and we can always treat it as a coin. And for beginner, you only need to know Sashimi token and ETH token are all the equal coins, and they can exchange with each other. So let's put some number. You want to exchange 100 Sashimi to ETH. You can see the ETH number is 0.0141481. It is automatically calculated. If we change the number, and this number always change. And if I change this number, and the Sashimi's amount will be automatically calculated. So if you, and for this case, I don't have this Sashimi balance because I only have 0.01 ETH. So I use ETH to exchange for another tokens, 0.005. So this time we can choose swap. But for any beginner who uses the applications for the first time, this button is not swap, it's approve. The is token approve the tokens, and you have to approve it. In the blockchain applications, approve is quite common because it is because of the technical, there's a technical features in blockchain, and you could approve first, but whether you approve or swap, you click the button, the MetaMask will pop up. And in this MetaMask, there could be some fee. It's a kind of gas fee. And at the very beginning, I talk about the gas. The gas price, if the gas price is so high, the gas fee will always be so high. And now the gas fee itself is 0.01 ETH, and it's 3.85 and that's quite expensive in comparison with the amount I want to exchange. It's much more than the amount I can exchange, so I think it's not profitable, so I decline. So I reject this transaction. It's a transaction. If you want to make a transaction, the little fox, the MetaMask will pop up, because in every if you want to interact with the applications of blockchain, you have to, if you click any of the buttons or turn something equally, you are making a transaction to the blockchain system. So the MetaMask will pop up. And swap is very easy to understand, just exchange one token for another. But how about pool? The pool is add liquidity. So if you don't want to just swap, you can provide this liquidity in this pool. But why does it make sense? Because if you provide the money or the tokens, say the ETH and the Sashimi token, if you have both these two tokens, you provide the liquidity. When people are swapping in swap function, I have just addressed, you will get some kind of swapping fee coming from that person who swaps. So that's one of the profit in this the application system. And when here we input some ETH and Sashimi to add liquidity, when I input 1 ETH, the Sashimi token amount is automatically calculated. Be aware that you cannot change that amount, because if you change that, if you're a beginner, you don't know what is doing actually under the hood, you will face a loss. But if you have this balance, now I don't have the balance, I only have a very poor 0.01 ETH here, and if you have the sufficient balance, you can click it and a MetaMask window will pop up, and you click confirm to change the system to make this liquidity success. And here I cannot do that, but I think if you have money, you can try this, and it's really quite awesome. So why I talk about the exchange, because if you add liquidity here and you add tokens, and the system will give back you the kind of liquidity provider token. And in acronym, we call this LP token. The LP token is a special token that it just represents the liquidity you have deposited in, and you have theoretically speaking, you have the same value of the tokens you provided. It's not the additional value, it's not the double fold value, it's just the representation. And LP token, here we call it the ETH Sashimi LP token or Sashimi is LP token, they are the same thing. And the is Sashimi token is just kind of a token name, is another kind of token and have this token name. So this is what LP token is, and this LP token always played a very important role in the whole system. So this is why I talk about exchange first, and with so much detail here. Now, if we have this LP token, we can go to farms to farm our sashimi here. And in the farm, we can see the shining border, this shining pool we call sashimi party, and it says deposit sashimi is LP token, and why there is a SALP that's only because it is called the sashimi LP. So that doesn't matter. The LP token, that is quite the LP token I have talked about. And I select this pool, and we can see the APY is really high. It's 73%, 73%, and we click select. And in this page, the first thing, if you want to deposit, you have to approve. So when I click approve, definitely the MetaMask page will prompt, and here we can make this approval, and but I don't want to do confirm because I haven't got so much ETH here. But if you approve success, there is a pattern called deposit, and you click deposit here, and there will be another window pop up here, and you can to input how much this LP token can be used to stake. And if you stake token, the sashimi earned in the left panel, the sashimis will slowly grow up constantly. And the only thing you can do is just wait for the sashimi to be more and more. And if you find the sashimi is quite many sashimi in your sashimi earn data here, and you can click harvest to harvest all the sashimi in your wallet. So there is a kind of caveat here is if you don't harvest the token is just a number, it's not real token in your wallet. So that's what you should have a notice. And let's come back to the other kind of pools, and there are a lot of pools here, and each pool demands different kind of token pair. And the token pairs, if you don't know what the detail of this LP token, you can go to the Sashimi Swap info here to you can have a look at all the tokens. There are all the tokens in our Sashimi Swap exchange, and the token pairs. The token pair itself, we take the ETH Sashimi for example. The token pair itself is just the two kind of tokens, and you have calculated the liquidity in dollars, volume in dollars, and the fees collected, and the token amount. And the most importantly, this token have a representation. Each pair has a representation. We have discussed before. It's called the LP token. So for each pair, there is always a LP token here. So there are almost 30 token pairs, which means there is 30 LP tokens of each kind of pairs. So let's come back. and for the other pairs they are the same, and there is always a pool with no profit, and yes, it's temporarily there are no profit and no APY here. So in these pools, if you deposit token in this pool, there will be no sashimi earned because there is no API here, and most probably this pool will be delisted. So don't care about that. So just care about the pool with non-blank APY number. So let's go to the double farm. The double farm, the most sexy here in double farm is you deposit one kind of LP token, but reap 2 portions of reward. And how does it work is just out of your scope if you are a beginner. And the only thing you have to pay attention is the LP token is not come from our exchange, not come from the Sashimi Swap exchange, but it comes from Uniswap. Uniswap is by far the biggest token swapping exchange on DeFi field. And in Uniswap, let's look at the Uniswap app, the interface, and we can see it really look really like our Sashimi Swap. And the things really get the same if you add liquidity in Uniswap, like ETH and other kind of token. You will get a token pair in here, and most importantly, the Uniswap LP token you will get is different from the Sashimi Swap LP token here. So in here, you need the Uniswap LP token. And how to get Uniswap LP token is quite similar to how to get Sashimi Swap LP token. And once you have the token, you click select, and all the things are really the same as the ordinary farm. But this farm has a higher APY, of course. So, all the same. Then let's look at the most important part of the Sashimi Swap system is the investment feature. Sashimi Swap investment, by essence, is the core part of the whole system because it allows the tokens deposited in Sashimi exchange to be used to invest to other purposes, to other external DeFi applications, like some kind of curve, like some kind of golf, some kind of other DeFi project mining and farming programs. So we invest this token in exchange in this program to earn money on other these platforms, and the money are if the token there are more token profited, and these tokens are exchanged back to the Sashimi token, and this Sashimi token is going to the staking module here. And always, because we invest in the external applications, we always guarantee that the profit is always maximized. So we can see the full invest in there are 4 tokens in the Sashimi Swap. Its exchange is invested like GT token, WETH token, HT token, DAI token. DAI is kind of most important stable coin in DeFi area, and WETH is the kind of ETH token. We can trade ETH equal to the WETH, and the ratio is 1 to 1. They are really the same. And GT, HT, the kind of other platform tokens and in our Sashimi swap ecosystem. So in this page, we can see a lot of data here, but I think for beginners that's not important. That's not something quite important, and we can see the APY is really high, and this APY is 0 because now these pools are pause the service, they are suspended, and there are two buttons here. One harvest, one the rebalance, and if you try to click one of that, yeah, of course there is a MetaMask, and you can see the gas fee really high. Now I have talked about the gas fee really low, but this is very high gas fee because they are really complicated thing happen in the backend code, so make the fee really high. What I want to talk about is that for any beginner, I strongly recommend you not clicking any of the tokens, any of the buttons here, because there are many advanced players who will do this by their own interest. So that's an investment. So I have talked about the investment property, the investment module. It uses the money staked in the exchange, staked in this exchange pool to invest external sources, and the money and the tokens we profit will be exchanged back to Sashimi, and these sashimis are all poured, are all sent to the sashimi staking. And the core part of sashimi staking is called the sashimi bar. You all know bar is if you want to have a drink, you go to the bar. Yeah, that's the same meaning. And welcome to the sashimi bar. So I have talked about you just stake. Okay, the wallet is always locked. You just approve and stake sashimi. If you have 1,000 sashimi, you can stake it all here. And once you stake sashimi, you will get a kind of X sashimi token. The X sashimi token is quite different from the sashimi token itself. X sashimi token, its name is X sashimi, not sashimi, so it's a different kind of token. And there is a token exchanging ratio here. It says one X sashimi token equal to 1.034 sashimi. That's quite natural because I talked about the profit in sashimi is going to this sashimi bar. And if you have stake sashimi, there is more than your stake sashimi. Here, if the tokens come from the investment, if more and more tokens come from investment going to this sashimi bar, one X sashimi will be worth more and more sashimi. That's kind of it's like some kind of compound interest in traditional finance. It's like something, or we can treat it as like something bond. You have this bond, the bond like sashimi, and the bond can earn interest. So if you stake this sashimi token and you withdraw this sashimi token, several days later you can make this profit, the interest. And because I don't have so much sashimi tokens, so I cannot to stake the sashimi with the real tokens. And in this data, you can see quite a lot of things. There's quite a great amount of sashimi token in the pool. It's nearly had over 40 million sashimis. And now we have only near 60 million sashimis, and now 2 out of 3 of the sashimi's circulated supply are all in this staking place. So why does people doing so? Because it's a money making. It can make you the maximize the profit. So people are always staking here to make money. That is why the sashimi investment is so powerful. It's a money making machine. And people stake sashimi, and there is always the data to record how many X sashimi is minted to others. And the APY is really high. It's over 50. It's over 50%. And now we always know if you are know something little about DeFi, the overall market is bearish in recent times. So it's not so easy for you to find this high APY, the high return rate here. So that's what the staking work. And the last thing is in this page is a vault. The vault is kind of another means to invest using the Uniswap LP token. Now, in theory, we can add any kind of vault here, but now we only open the Uniswap opportunities. So you deposit token in Uniswap, get the LP tokens, and stake the LP tokens in this vault. And for example, the DAI ETH vault, and if you have the LP token here, this number will automatically be your real LP token amount, is not 0, because I don't have the LP token, so it's 0 in my screen. And if you have the LP, not 0, and you can choose how much portion of the LPs to stake, to deposit in this system. If you deposit it in the system, you can be mint. The system will mint your kind of SV Uniswap V2 token. So that's quite confusing. There are a lot of kind of LP tokens, SV tokens, X Sashimi tokens. So what are they? So quite confusing, but it doesn't matter, because if you are the first time to interact with the DeFi applications, they are quite confusing, but you play with for several times and look at this video again and again, you will be very quickly to be familiar to all that. So the SV Uniswap token is really a tricky name. It just stands for Sashimi. Yeah, the S vault is a V Uniswap V2. Yeah, that's quite tricky here, so we call it SV Uniswap V2 token. So it is just like the LP token, it's a representation. It's a kind of proof that you really have staked in this LP token. And actually, only by your SV Uniswap V2, by this representation, can you withdraw or reclaim your money back. If you don't have the token, you cannot do that. Just like something like a proof. Only the proof can make you to claim your money back. So that's how there are a lot of kind of very complicated name tokens. So they are all working like that. The LP tokens, they are always the same. In the farms, in the exchange, in the exchanges, if you don't have the LP token, you cannot retrieve your money back. So that's really a nightmare. So that the LP token can save you, if in this sense. And in this system, we can find the LP token, just the representation itself, can always use to make more money. So that's a very common trick people playing in DeFi. So if you are familiar to this, I think that's quite interesting. I think that is the most interesting part of the DeFi money making mechanisms to use the LP token, use the representation token to make actual monies and to finally to make the profits higher and higher. It's really charming. In other world, things are really the same. Yeah, yeah. By the way, I have lost something because you want to, if I want to withdraw, the system will claim 0.5% of fees from this from your withdrawing, and the fees are always sent to the a place called the Sashimi Treasury. The Sashimi Treasury there have a lot of governance usage, if the development needs some money and we can supply to them, use this money, the profited money, and if there are some guy in our communities and they made something really awesome, we can reward them. There are a lot of usage, and by far, we first set up this treasury, and to make our treasury very wealthy, and this is the first move, and we're always looking for the subsequent movement of the how to use the treasury. Exactly. So let's come back to the vault, and if you click withdraw, the MetaMask will pop up, and you pay the gas fee, and you confirm, and you will get back your money with the profit. And now, what I do, there is a notice is you put in the DAI is Uniswap V2 token, and you will get more. The same DAI is Uniswap token. You will not get more sashimi. No sashimi, not exchange to sashimi. You put in the token, you withdraw the same token here. Yeah, but in the other places like farms, you stake token, you get back the sashimi token. That's different. So there are the different product, and have some interconnections, have some intercorrelations of the money flow, of the token flow. So that's all the detailed function in this the whole product. So the last but not least, there are two additional thing is the proposal. So we go to the proposal page. Yeah, but the first thing is why the proposal is really important, and because it's the decentralized application, everything is decentralized. There is no central party here, so how to guarantee the whole system, the future direction, and for example, where does the Ledger to change this pool or delete this pool, or to change the other kind of things in the page or in the system? The most of the cases, we will go through a proposal, let people vote. So because it's a decentralized way to make the whole system, to make the whole decentralized system make sense. So we have the proposals here. There are a lot of proposals, and for the beginners, you don't have to master how to make a proposal. You can try to propose. You can vote on the other people's proposal. Let's go into one of these proposals. So let's wait for some time for it to load the proposals. You can see the proposal's title, the proposal's content, and that's kind of problem here. The proposal's choices, and the current result, how many people, how many portion of the people have voted for any one of the choices. And if you want to vote, you just click some choices and click vote. And there is a confirm vote here. It's I also want to vote yes or blah blah blah, and there is kind of voting power. Is the zero sashimi chakra. Sashimi chakra is the voting power, but what sashimi chakra is, now we define sashimi chakra is same as the sashimi is LP token. Yeah, you have to notice sashimi is LP token is now sashimi now is it's a LP token. If you don't have got the LP token, you have no voting power here. Yeah, if you have the voting power, you click vote, and the MetaMask will pop up, and now it's always asking for your signal, and now asking for your gas fees. You just signal it, so that's done, and it will not cost you any fees. And this is the only scenario that the MetaMask will not cost you fees, but in other scenario, when you operate on this system, it will always have the gas fee here. Yeah, what I have forgot is that for this 4-pool sashimi party, these 4 pools, you deposit not the LP token, you deposit that is SV Uniswap V2 token. We have talked about SV Uniswap, this tricky token here, and that's quite of welfare because you make money on vault, and at the same time you make money on this farm. So you make a double bulk money here. Really quite awesome, quite profitable. Yeah, it's quite awesome playing mechanisms in Sashimi. So that's all the things related to Sashimi by far, but we have to remind you something if you are a new player of this field. The sum of this is you may face money loss if you don't use this system the right way. What about the loss? So I go to the exchange and I will make some examples. Like I always choose Sashimi token here, and I choose ETH. And we still use Sashimi to exchange for ETH. And now we click the 300 Sashimi, and you will automatically calculate your 0.0423. You just keep this number in your memory, and you can see there are additional information here. The one of this is price impact. Yeah, the kind of price impact is green. As I think you can see since that quite well, and that's quite a normal case. Yeah, that's really the truth. But if you want to try to exchange for 3,000 sashimi, you'll see things will get changed. There's 0.411 ETH, and is much less than. It's less than 0.042 multiplied times 10. And that's really different from what will it behave in a centralized exchange or a stock exchange. The price, the exchange, the amount is now determined by the exchange is amount is now determined by the sashimi input amount if you're in a centralized system. But in this decentralized system, it's called the automated market maker. Yeah, you don't need to understand what it really is, but you should understand is if you input more token to exchange for another token, you will face potential loss. And this is the 10 times, or about 100 times input. In 100 times input, like the 30,000 sashimis, you can only get 4.03 ETH. And look at back, the 300. Yeah, look at by the 300, and there is 0.0 file too, and yeah, if you are the 30,100 times much less than 100 is 100 times 100 times 4.2 is. So that loss is called the slippage or price impact. If you exchange for more and more, things could be really worse, and you can only get one half. It should be 400 is, but now there are only 220 is. You have 50, nearly 51% of loss here. So that's quite what price impact means in a decentralized system. So how to avoid that? The most effective way is you don't try to exchange so much money in one pool. And another thing is you just that the Sashimi is quite a famous token in this system, but if there is another kind of token, curve is that the things could be much worse. So another thing I want to tell you is you choose the popular token and to make swap. Yeah, in the pool that's quite the case. And if you add liquidity in the pool, you just select the token that is really famous. Or you will face a great amount of loss here. And this loss we call that the impermanent loss. And if the I take another example, HT and Sashimi, the HT and another token, another synthetic token SNX, and you provide the liquidity here, and you provide the liquidity for the first time. That's not important, and you provide the liquidity here if the HT price or SNX the price drops or increase, you will always face a loss. That's now called the impermanent loss. So in this case, I always recommend you to choose the famous coins. Like the ETH Sashimi, that's quite famous, and we will not face so much impermanence now because Sashimi and ETH are all quite stable in prices, will not have really drastic fluctuations. So this is the caveat I will talk about in Sashimi swap, and in future times there will be a lot of movement to this Sashimi swap, and there could be more and more new products integrated into the system. And later at that time, I believe that more people will be engaged in the system, and there will be much more liquidity here, and the price will go up with many of people buying it. So that's all about the Sashimi swap I'm talking about in this video. And the last word is for community members, you can still make the other kind of videos from different angles to your Sashimi swap, and you can always let me know about that. Yeah, thank you.